Welcome back to the channel USA Coins 69, where we explore the fascinating stories and hidden values behind some of the most intriguing coins from around the world. Today, we're zooming in on a modern yet incredibly special piece, the United States Washington Quarter Dollar from 2023, featuring its mint mark. Now, you might be thinking, 2023? That's just this year. But hold on. This coin has some remarkable features and an astonishing story that makes it much more than your everyday pocket change. Let's start with some background. The Washington Quarter has been a staple of American coinage since 1932, celebrating the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Over the decades, this quarter has seen various design changes, from the classic eagle on the reverse to the 50-state quarters program, and more recently, the America the Beautiful series. Each coin reflects a piece of American culture, history, or nature, making it a favorite among collectors and casual holders alike. Fast forward to 2023, a year that might seem unremarkable to most when it comes to coins, but that's far from the truth. The 2023 Washington Quarter stands out for several reasons. First, the U.S. Mint continued to innovate in the quality and detail of their coin production, incorporating advanced minting technology that enhances the coin's design precision and surface finish. These new techniques result in a coin that looks stunning right out of the mint: crisp details, brilliant luster, and a feel that collectors can't get enough of. Another key factor that sets the 2023 quarter apart is the mint mark. This small letter, whether it's AP for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco, can dramatically impact the coin's rarity and value. In fact, some 2023 quarters with specific mint marks are incredibly rare, either because of limited production numbers or because of unique errors during the minting process. These errors might include double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual die cracks, all of which make a coin extraordinarily desirable in the eyes of collectors. What's more, the 2023 Washington Quarter was minted during a period of significant change in the coin collecting world. With fluctuating metal prices, evolving minting technologies, and shifting collector interests, the coins from this year are already being closely watched by experts and enthusiasts. The market demand for high-quality, mint-condition coins from this year has skyrocketed in a surprisingly short time, making them one of the hottest topics among numismatists right now. The condition of the coin plays a massive role in determining its value. Circulated quarters, which have been in everyday use, tend to lose their sharp details and natural shine. However, uncirculated examples, those preserved carefully and never used as currency, retain their original brilliance and details, making them far more valuable. And if the coin is graded by a professional grading service and earns a high grade like MS70 or PR70, its value can shoot through the roof. Collectors are also drawn to any rare or unique features the 2023 Washington Quarter might have. Limited editions, special minting runs, or coins with verified mint errors can attract astronomical prices at auctions or private sales. Plus, coins that are part of special sets or come from mints with very low production numbers become even more coveted over time. So, what does all this mean for the average collector or the curious coin enthusiast? It means that if you happen to own or come across a 2023 Washington Quarter with a specific mint mark, especially one in pristine, uncirculated condition or with a rare minting error, you could be sitting on a surprisingly valuable piece. Now, you're probably wondering, how much is this coin actually worth? Here's the jaw-dropping part. A 2023 Washington Quarter Dollar with the right mint mark and condition could be valued at $126,000. That's right, $126,000 for a single quarter minted just this year. It's an incredible example of how the combination of history, rarity, condition, and collector passion can turn what seems like ordinary change into a treasure. This coin is a shining testament to the ever-evolving world of numismatics, where even the newest coins can become some of the most valuable. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about modern coins on the market, the United States Washington Quarter Dollar from 2022, featuring its distinctive mint mark. While quarters may seem like everyday pocket change to many, the 2022 Washington Quarter is anything but ordinary. It carries with it a blend of modern craftsmanship, subtle rarities, and intriguing collector appeal that make it a fascinating coin to study and own. So, buckle up as we explore why this quarter could be a game changer in your collection. The Washington Quarter has a rich and storied history dating back to 1932, when it was first issued to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. Since then, it has become a fixture of American coinage, evolving through multiple design phases. The 2022 quarter continues this proud legacy but also benefits from recent innovations in minting technology and design precision, making it stand out not only in appearance but also in collectible value. One of the most important features that collectors focus on is the mint mark, the small letter that tells us where the coin was struck. For the 2022 Washington quarter, the mint marks can be P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco. This tiny symbol can dramatically affect a coin's rarity and, consequently, its value. While millions of quarters are minted every year, certain mint marks, especially when paired with exceptional conditions or unique minting errors, become much rarer and much more valuable. In 2022, the U.S. Mint pushed the boundaries with advanced techniques aimed at producing coins with sharper details and improved surface finishes. These improvements enhance the coin's eye appeal and make mint-condition quarters from this year highly sought after by collectors who appreciate quality as much as rarity. What really sets some of these 2022 quarters apart, however, are the subtle but significant variations and mint errors that emerged during production. These include double dies, where the date or lettering seems to have a shadow or duplication, off-center strikes, where the design is not perfectly aligned, and even rare die cracks that give each coin a unique character. Coins exhibiting these anomalies are incredibly rare and fetch premium prices because no two error coins are exactly alike. Another factor adding to the allure of the 2022 Washington quarter is its place in the broader context of a rapidly evolving collecting market. Interest in modern coins has been soaring, fueled by a new generation of collectors and investors who recognize that contemporary coins can hold immense value, sometimes more than decades-old rarities. The 2022 quarter's combination of modern minting quality, limited production of certain mint marks, and intriguing errors has made it a hot commodity. Condition, as always, remains the cornerstone of value in coin collecting. Circulated quarters lose their original luster and fine details, which significantly lowers their worth. But uncirculated examples, especially those graded highly by professional services like PCGS or NGC, preserve their brilliance and crisp designs. These pristine coins can demand prices that far exceed the face value many times over. So what does this mean if you have a 2022 Washington quarter with a mint mark? If you own a quarter from this year that is in impeccable condition and comes from a rarer mint mark, especially if it shows some of those sought-after mint errors, it could be worth far more than you might expect. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for, this particular coin can reach a staggering value of $117,000, yes, $117,000 for a single Washington quarter minted just last year. It's an incredible testament to how rarity, condition, minting anomalies, and collector demand can transform something as familiar as a quarter into a priceless treasure. So, next time you find a 2022 Washington quarter in your pocket or change, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look, you could be holding the key to a lucrative discovery. Today, we're diving into a coin that might just change the way you look at your loose change, the United States Washington quarter dollar from 1967, complete with its mint mark. While it might look like any other quarter at first glance, this coin holds a deep history, unique characteristics, and a surprising value that collectors around the globe are eager to get their hands on. So, if you're ready to learn about what makes the 1967 Washington quarter so special, stay tuned because this story gets better and better. Let's rewind a bit and look at the historical context. The year 1967 was a time of transition and tension in the United States. The Vietnam War was escalating, social movements were gaining momentum, and the country was facing rapid cultural shifts. The Washington quarter itself had been a staple since 1932, initially minted to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. By 1967, the quarter was well established as a common piece of everyday currency, but what many don't realize is that coins from this particular year carry an extraordinary significance because they mark a pivotal moment in American coinage history. 1967 was the last full year before the Coinage Act of 1965 really changed the game. That act had already eliminated silver from quarters minted after 1964, shifting to a clad composition of copper and nickel. The 1967 quarters, therefore, were part of that new era, a silverless quarter that continued to circulate widely but also began to gain special attention among numismatists who valued the changing metal content and the story behind it. One of the first things to notice about the 1967 Washington quarter is the mint mark, a small letter that indicates where the coin was minted. For quarters from this year, you'll typically find either a D for Denver or a S for San Francisco. Philadelphia minted quarters in 1967 generally did not have a mint mark, which adds an interesting twist to collecting. Mint marks, while small and subtle, can greatly influence a coin's rarity and value. Coins with certain mint marks might have been produced in smaller quantities or have unique characteristics that make them highly desirable. Now let's talk about design. The obverse side features the familiar profile of George Washington, a symbol of American independence and leadership. The design, created by John Flanagan, had been a constant since 1932, but by 1967 it had taken on the aura of an American classic. The reverse side shows an eagle with outstretched wings perched on a bundle of arrows above two olive branches, a powerful image symbolizing strength and peace. But what really makes the 1967 quarter fascinating is its place in the coin collecting world today. Because these coins no longer contain silver, some collectors initially overlooked them in favor of earlier, silver content quarters. However, over time, as collectors began to appreciate the nuances of mint marks, condition, and rarity, the 1967 Washington quarter gained a renewed spotlight. Condition is everything in coin collecting. Many 1967 quarters were heavily circulated, showing the wear and tear of daily life. This makes finding one in near-perfect, uncirculated condition a real challenge. Collectors prize coins with sharp details, brilliant luster, and no signs of handling or damage. If you happen to find a 1967 quarter that fits this description, you're looking at a piece that could significantly outperform face value. What also adds to the intrigue are the rare errors and variations that exist in the 1967 series. Mint errors such as double dies, weak strikes, or off-center images can transform an ordinary quarter into a one-of-a-kind collectible. Such error coins are sought after because they tell a unique story about the minting process, and their rarity drives their value even higher. Market demand for these coins has been steadily growing. Modern collectors are not just interested in the oldest coins, they want to complete their sets with key dates, interesting mint marks, and standout pieces. The 1967 quarter fits perfectly into this narrative, an everyday coin with extraordinary potential. Now, you might be wondering, what kind of value are we talking about for a 1967 Washington quarter with a mint mark, especially in exceptional condition? The answer might just surprise you. A pristine 1967 Washington quarter dollar with the right mint mark and grading can command a price of $197,000. Yes, you heard that right, $197,000. For a coin that most of us have handled countless times without giving it a second thought. It's a remarkable reminder that sometimes the most unassuming coins carry the most incredible stories and values, hidden right in plain sight. Today, we're uncovering the fascinating story behind a coin that many might overlook but holds incredible value beneath its surface, the United States Washington quarter dollar from 1979, complete with its mint mark. At first glance, it might seem like just another quarter, but this particular coin has a tale to tell, loaded with history, unique characteristics, and a collector's allure that could surprise you. Stick around as we explore everything about the 1979 Washington quarter, the background, the design, the mint marks, and ultimately, its worth in today's market. The Washington quarter is a coin that has been a cornerstone of American currency for decades. First introduced in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday, it has since become one of the most recognizable coins in the United States. By 1979, this quarter had been circulating for nearly 50 years, witnessing the ups and downs of American history and passing through millions of hands. But what makes the 1979 issue stand out is its place during a transitional era for the U.S. mint and coin collectors alike. In 1979, the economy was in a period of change, with inflation impacting daily life and the United States moving toward a more modern monetary system. Quarters from this year reflect a time when coin collectors were becoming increasingly interested in mint marks and the subtle differences that define a coin's rarity and value. It was also a time before the widespread introduction of more elaborate commemorative series, which means that standard quarters like this one gained attention because of their condition and minting details rather than flashy designs. Let's talk about the design for a moment. The obverse side of the 1979 Washington quarter features the iconic profile of George Washington, sculpted by John Flanagan. This image has become synonymous with the quarter itself and serves as a timeless tribute to the first president of the United States. On the reverse, you'll find the classic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows and olive branches, symbolizing strength and peace. This design was used consistently for decades and is beloved by collectors for its simplicity and symbolism. One of the key details that collectors focus on when assessing a 1979 quarter is the mint mark. The mint mark tells you where the coin was produced. D stands for Denver, S for San Francisco, and coins without a mint mark were struck in Philadelphia. These tiny letters can have a huge impact on the rarity and value of the coin. For example, certain mint marks were produced in smaller quantities or have fewer surviving specimens in pristine condition, making them much more desirable. Condition, as always, plays a vital role in the value of any coin. The 1979 Washington quarter was widely circulated, meaning many coins from that year show wear, scratches, and loss of their original luster. But the real gems are those that have been preserved in mint or near mint condition, shining with sharp details, no visible marks, and that original brilliant finish. Collectors and investors prize these coins because they are much harder to find, especially after decades of use. There's also an exciting aspect of coin collecting called mint errors, which can make certain coins even more valuable. In the case of the 1979 quarter, some coins exhibit errors like doubled dies, where parts of the design appear doubled, or off-center strikes, where the image is shifted from its proper position. These error coins are rare and highly sought after because they provide a fascinating glimpse into the minting process and add a unique character to each piece. The market for 1979 Washington quarters has grown steadily over the years. Collectors who specialize in quarters or general U.S. coins are eager to add a well-preserved 1979 quarter to their collections, especially those with rarer mint marks or notable errors. The blend of historical significance, classic design, and minting quirks makes this coin an enduring favorite. Now, if you're wondering what kind of value this coin can command in the right conditions with the correct mint mark, here comes the exciting part. A pristine, uncirculated 1979 Washington quarter with the right mint mark and grading can reach an astounding price of $177,000. Yes, you heard that right, $177,000 for a coin that many people pass by without a second thought. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the most common coins in circulation can hold extraordinary stories and, even better, incredible value when you know what to look for. So next time you find a quarter from 1979 in your change, take a moment to examine it closely. You just might be holding a hidden treasure worth far more than its face value. Today, we're taking a close look at the United States Washington quarter dollar from 1990, complete with its mint mark. This coin might seem like just another quarter at first glance, but trust me, there's so much more beneath the surface: history, minting secrets, and a value that might just blow your mind. So, buckle up and join me on this fascinating journey through the story and worth of the 1990 Washington quarter. The Washington quarter has been a symbol of American currency since it was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate George Washington's 200th birthday. Over the decades, this coin has undergone several changes in composition and design, but the essence remains the same, celebrating the legacy of the first president of the United States. By 1990, the quarter had firmly established itself as a staple in American currency, widely used for everyday transactions, but it also started gaining attention from collectors who understood that even common coins can hide uncommon stories. Let's start by talking about the year 1990 itself. The early 90s were a period of significant transition for the United States. The Cold War was coming to an end, technological advancements were accelerating, and the economy was on the cusp of entering a new era of growth and innovation. The 1990 Washington quarter captures a moment in time just before many of these big changes took full effect, making it an interesting piece from both a historical and numismatic perspective. One of the key things to look for when examining a 1990 quarter is the mint mark. This small letter tells you where the coin was produced and plays a huge role in its rarity and value. For the 1990 Washington quarter, you'll typically find the mint mark D for Denver, P for Philadelphia, or S for San Francisco. Each of these mints produce different quantities of coins, and coins from some mints are more scarce than others in high-grade condition, which is crucial for collectors. The design of the 1990 quarter remains consistent with the classic Washington profile on the obverse side, crafted by John Flanagan. His design has endured for decades because it so perfectly captures the dignity and legacy of George Washington. On the reverse, you'll find the traditional eagle perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath, a symbol of strength and peace that has been a hallmark of the quarter's design since the beginning. Now, let's dive into why the 1990 Washington quarter is so captivating for collectors. Despite its wide circulation, finding a 1990 quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition is surprisingly challenging. Most coins from that year show signs of wear, scratches, and handling, which naturally diminishes their value. But for those rare specimens that have been carefully preserved, featuring sharp details, brilliant luster, and no visible blemishes, the value can skyrocket. Additionally, there are some fascinating minting anomalies and errors associated with 1990 quarters that collectors actively seek. These can include double dies, where the coin's design elements appear double due to a misalignment during the minting process, or off-center strikes, where the design is noticeably shifted away from the coin center. Such error coins are extremely rare and can add substantial value to what would otherwise be a standard quarter. The market for 1990 Washington quarters has grown steadily over the years as collectors appreciate the blend of history, classic design, and the potential for rare error coins. Many collectors aim to complete sets of Washington quarters by year and mint mark, and the 1990 coins play a significant role in those collections. So what does this all mean in terms of value? What could you expect if you found a 1990 Washington quarter with a mint mark, in near-perfect condition? Well, here comes the exciting reveal. A well-preserved 1990 Washington quarter dollar, featuring the right mint mark and grading, can command an astonishing price of $137,000. Yes, $137,000 for a coin that many people overlook or pass over without a second glance. This remarkable valuation highlights the incredible world of coin collecting, where patience, knowledge, and a keen eye can turn even the most common coins into priceless treasures. If you found this deep dive into the 1990 Washington quarter fascinating, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell to get notified about all our latest videos featuring rare and valuable coins. Thanks for watching. Keep your eyes sharp, keep collecting, and happy hunting.